G'day you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my first No Man's Sky video post-launch. Today I want to talk a little bit about language in the game and why it is important to learn as much as humanly possible as early as you can. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first up, in the game there are many different ways for you to actually learn words of specific languages. So if I do a scan here, you can see straight up that there is a knowledge stone there, that purple symbol right in front, and also off to the right hand side there was a type of monolith. The reason why these actually pop up on my map is because of that beacon right there. So once you've activated that beacon at one of the green stations that are littered throughout the planet, you will then see things like blue materials like platinum, yellow materials like zinc. You will also see knowledge stones like the one that I'm headed towards right now. The monolith that is showing in the background on the left hand side of the screen is there because of a different type of beacon that I will talk about a little bit later. But for now, there we go, we've learnt stupid, which is great. Going to be using that a lot. The second place that you can get a little bit of knowledge from is from this place right here. So this is a different kind of monolith that I actually came across on my way to the one that was marked on my map. So this is actually one of the better ones. If I work my way over there now, you'll find that there is the actual monolith itself, which is the larger structure, which you will learn a word from, and you will also gain standing with whoever is the prominent race in that system. So for here it's the Gek. You'll also find a couple of knowledge stones littered around it, so you'll get between 3 to 5 words from one spot, which is great. I'll just scan that little beauty right there for later. So get another word from here, which is increase, which might be handy. Now that's really not that handy. So a lot of them, when I say handy, a lot of them aren't really going to help you a lot, as there is a massive active vocabulary. You need to get things that are actually going to help you to receive gifts or rewards from doing certain things. So you see on the bottom left there, the words that are highlighted in yellow and that are in English are the words that I have learnt. So right here, clearly I have earned enough, or learnt enough rather, that I know straight away that I should give it silicate. But if I didn't have give and silicate, maybe I might have thought that it was smash claw. But right there I get it right because I've learned enough of the language, and I will be rewarded with standing with the Gek and a word, I believe. Yes, so I've got the word for creation. That is the Atlas word for creation. So moving on, here is the one that was actually on my map, which is a different type of monolith type structures, which will also learn me a different word. So we'll just pop down in the hole and grab this sucker, and then I'll move on to one of the easiest ways to actually learn words in the game, and then we'll move on to why it's so important. So hold square on that. None of this is going to spoil anything for you, by the way. So as you see there, there's there's just one option. Get help with language, so we'll click on that. Knowledge of the Gek increases. We learn withheld, which I'm not sure how useful that's going to be, and our standing with the Gek is increased. Okay, so one of the best ways to actually learn the language of the Gek or whoever is to go to either a space station that's out in space in each of the solar systems, or to go to a trading post. Actually, you can go pretty much any of the green question mark locations on a planet. If there is actually a alien there, you can speak to any of them and pretty much do this with any of them. but a guaranteed place to find one is a merchant on a trading post. So if we hold square on him, as you see there, there's only 2 words that we actually know that he's speaking, and we are able to request new word. You will only be able to request new word every 2 times that you do this. The opposite times that you are doing this, you'll be given a bunch of different things that you can choose from. You may have something like receive gift, like request isotope, which is always a good one to do while you're waiting for request word to pop back up. So this one here, we should get a new word. Trading friend. And there we go, request new word. So you can spam the hell out of this. You just need carbon to do so. You can absolutely get a ton of it. If you run out right here, you can just quickly pop over the edge of the trading post, go and mine down a couple of trees. That'll give you a heap. And if you can stand doing it for a little while, you can actually learn a ton of words doing this. So we go again. Get some health up. You're gonna run out of usefulness for these other ones that you're picking. Like there's only the first time you request health, second time request shield recharge or fuel. While you're not getting a word, eventually it's kind of going to be a bit of a waste. But like I said, it's easy to farm the carbon. But moving on, the next thing that we want to look at is one of the best places to use the knowledge of that language. So I'm just going to quickly build this card, and I'm going to pop it into this, which you can find at some locations around the map, which opens up a scanner. And then you're able to actually search for a monolith, which were the big pillars that we went to earlier. Colonial outpost, a transmission, or a shelter. So I think we're actually going to go for colonial outpost. If we search for a colonial outpost, I believe the majority of times these will be places exactly like the one we're about to go to, which is what we want. Normally you want to be at a manufacturing plant. The manufacturing plants are guaranteed to be the type of location that I want you to go to. So we're going to jump in the ship and head over there. And off we go. Right, so it's an operations center, which is just as good. It's going to give us exactly what we want. So when you show up, you are going to have to beat the door down. It's going to have a locked door. It's not very hard to blow the door off its hinges, just a few shots from your multi-tool. If you have grenades, just shoot a grenade at the door. That'll be an easy way to get the door off. Okay, so here we are. We've got the door. As you can see, it's a steel reinforced door. So I'm just going to pop out the multi-tool, hit it with a grenade. Sentinels will come in. You'll instantly alert sentinels, but they won't come in. They won't bother you. So in the center of this room, you will have a console. Now this requires you to input one of 3 responses based on the text that's in the bottom left-hand corner above Hifucklecad Workshop. Alright, so the only clue that we actually have right there is docking. So upon doing this, I looked at it and I thought, okay, so that's a single word, docking's a single word, so perhaps we should go with Gek. Kind of makes sense, that way it's 4 single words. But then I got to thinking that actually maybe docking had something to do with space station or planetary trade platform. So I ended up changing what I was going to go for, which ended up actually being correct. But in most other cases, it is actually can be very hard to determine what you are supposed to do. Sometimes in the text that's in the top right that's written in English can actually give you a hint. I ran across one that mentioned that the room was getting quite hot, so I chose to reboot the coolant system. Couldn't read anything that was in the bottom left, but luckily that hint up the top allowed me to shut the facility, or not shut the facility down, but get it running properly and get my reward. So right here, I'm thinking about going for Gek, and I decide not to. I believe I pick Space Station, which is correct, and the system comes back online, and we're given a new upgrade. Now this isn't too great, the Beam Impact Sigma. It ends up not being the greatest upgrade, but it is quite an easy one to do. But like I said, there are so many of these places, and I have gotten so many good upgrades. I've gotten some +3 upgrades for my shields on my ship, +3 upgrades for damage to my multi-tool and my ship, and also some really good hazard protection for my suit. But like I said, you're going to come across them anyway. A lot of the times you're actually going to get it wrong, so why not increase your chances of actually getting it right by learning the language, which isn't really going to take you much time. You are going to come across knowledge stones all the time, you're going to go past monoliths all the time, you're going to be at trading stations and space stations to buy and sell goods anyway, so why not spend a couple of minutes and spam those guys and learn a bit of the language. But that's all I have for you today. I will be hoping to get another video out tomorrow, but until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was really helpful. If it was at all, please leave me a like down below. Subscribe if you're not already. Leave a comment if you want to tell me how retarded I am. I love your faces, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.